brother. Come on, man. Do the right thing. Hey, the guy that cares about you is the guy that's going to try to come between you.
Don't touch me! Don't touch me!
He didn't touch you.
Don't touch me!
He didn't touch you.
Yes, he did.
Oh, are you saying that other humans shouldn't be able to do things to your body without your permission? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're standing on? Humans shouldn't be able to touch you without your permission? What are you doing here? What are you doing here? You don't want people to touch you without permission? Think about the contradiction in that. Think about the contradiction in that. Are people not allowed to touch your body apart from your position, apart from your permission?
Or maybe I can share mine. I think it's important that we're.
Oh, I don't care about your story.
Do you see the contradiction there?
About what?
The contradiction. She doesn't want people to touch her body without her permission. What about the babies inside? What about those babies? Can you answer that? She doesn't want people to touch her without her permission. Is that a rule for humans? Is that no one can do things to my body apart from my permission? Is that a rule? How about those babies in there?
They're not babies.
How about those babies in there? How about those human beings in there? They are human from fertilization. Do you love science?
Sure.
Do you love logic? From the moment of conception, the very moment of fertilization, they are fully human from that very moment. That's a fact. That's a biological fact. Not just a biblical fact, it's a biological fact. Human from fertilization.
Oh, what kind of scientist?
Check, look at any, how about you go to Princeton? How about you go to Princeton? Look up them on biology of humans from fertilization. It's the moment of fertilization. I didn't say that, you're lying. I know you don't care about lying and murder, but that's a lie. Just look it up, just Google that. So what we were saying was she doesn't want people to touch her without her permission. Yeah. You think you're reasoning right now in a coherent way, you're not. Your life is filled with evil, with darkness, with murder.
Oh yeah, it is.
You're not logical. I know, and you revel in your sin, but there will be a day of judgment where you're going to face God for your sin.
David.
So again, you're human from fertilization.
Come back so I can tell him that I met his dad.
You're human from fertilization, that's a fact. So you believe that we shouldn't be able to do things to another human's body apart from their permission. You already granted that. If we're human from fertilization, then we shouldn't be able to murder these children, correct? There's no answer coming.
Yeah, you're not going to get anywhere with them.
There's no answer coming. There's no answer coming.
Are you friends with John? Is he in hospice?
What's that?
Is John in hospice?
Is John in hospice?
Yeah, no one's telling me.
here.
No, John's not in hospice.
I brought my cigar and smoked it.
That's his point.
He might be in college.
So you love Satanism and communism?
Yep.
I have
Yeah?
a TikTok in my drafts about
Makes sense.
I'm so excited.
What is it?
Would have guessed that before I met you.
Most viral videos with John.
Is that supposed to be an insult?
What's that?
Me and John, and I was like,
Well, your worldview is not coherent even to care about insults.
I love that video.
Your worldview is not coherent enough to even care about insults.
In over a week.
So let me ask you, are you a Satanist? Are you a Satanist?
Yep.
Yeah? So as a
Carrying Satan.
okay, so as a Satanist, how do you defend anything at all as right or wrong? You haven't thought that far ahead, have you? You just worship the devil.
No, I'm just not listening to you.
Yeah. No, you don't have a coherent worldview. You can't reason your way out of a paper bag. So tell us about the virtues. Tell us about the virtues of murdering children.
I was like bumper to bumper traffic, crawling when she called me, and I was like, I'll be there as soon as I can. And there was a guy, I'm trying.
Tell us about the virtues of murdering children. Tell us.
And the school zones were driving me fucking
They were.
I was like, guys, I
Can't reason. Your worldview is broken. Your worldview is bankrupt. And so is your moral system. You women will face judgment. You will face God for what you've done today and every day outside of this abortion mill.
I'm going to put myself on the schedule for because I think we're done.
He's going to answer you for every child you've murdered, and he'll name their names because he knows their names. Every one of them. They all have names, just like you. And God will stand for your murder of these fatherless children, these unprotected children. He's going to stand for all of them against you. You'll answer for it. And Satan won't help you.
I can't wait to go to hell.
Yeah. Well, hell isn't what you think it is. Hell is outer darkness. It is eternal torment. The devil doesn't rule there. Jesus reigns even over hell. And you'll face God. There'll be no parties in hell. There's no celebrations in hell. It's just you gnashing your teeth for all eternity for your sin.
So I don't really give a shit.
You're a masochist? That's obvious. That's obvious.
Okay.
From the truth.
You know that's not true. You're not peachy. You're not
Yeah,
fine.
I'm
You
doing
know
great.
you know you're not fine. You know that.
I'm great.
At night, when you're alone, you think about your situation
Yeah, I feel
before
great.
God. You know
I go
where you're
home
at.
and feel fulfilled.
Yeah, no, that's not
Yeah, I
true.
do.
No person living outside of God in a relationship with Him can be fulfilled because you're made in His image to know Him. You were made like me, like us, to know God and to enjoy Him
Now,
forever.
when I
That's
was a
what you were
Christian, I
made
was
for.
miserable. Now I'm peachy.
Well, you
I'm
never
doing
were a
great.
Christian.
I'm happy.
You never really
But
were.
that's not your body language. You're twitchy, you're nervous. She was twitchy.
Go, John.
You know, you guys are legitimately filled with demons. You know that.
Be respectful.
You know that, right? You
Sounds great.
you are not operating by yourself right now. You are literally influenced by demons.
I'd love to be demon possessed.
Yeah,
I
well,
think
you
it'd
no,
be a
I.
fun Friday.
It's probably already true about you, and I hope that doesn't remain true. I love you. I care for you.
Don't.
You are in the image of God. You're in the image of God.
No, I'm not.
You are. You're not an accident. You're not a cosmic accident. You're not the result of random evolutionary processes. You have value and you have meaning. You have purpose. You're made in God's image. It's the truth whether you like it or not. And you said a moment ago you felt great. Do you feel great as a cosmic accident?
Yeah, I do actually.
You do. So if you're a cosmic accident, there are no rules then, are there?
Dr. Quintana.
Right?
What do you mean by rules?
Well, if you're a cosmic accident and there is no God and you're not in His image, then you don't have any value, purpose, dignity, nothing. And there are no rules. There's nothing that we ought to do. Like right now, you're standing for women, you think, right? But if you're a cosmic accident, that's a meaningless thing because we're all accidents. There's no meaning, there's no purpose. Do you see how what you're doing doesn't make any sense? If you're an accident, then they're accidents. There's no purpose or meaning and nothing is right or wrong. So even you're standing out here for these women, you think you're doing that. You're not doing anything noble in your worldview. Nothing is noble right now. Do you see what I'm saying? But if you're made in the image of God, you have value and purpose, and so do all those women in there. If you want the value you think you're giving to these women, you have to turn away from your sin to
Who said I want
Christ.
value?
But that's just the point, you see? Is that nothing matters. Do you see? Because you turned away from Christ, nothing matters. You just admitted to that. Isn't that right?
Just look it up,
What?
ladies.
Nothing matters.
Sure.
There's no meaning, there's no purpose, there's no good or evil. See, your worldview can't even account for what you're doing right now to pretend to stand for these women.
So good.
What?
You're just so good.
You seem like a very nice young man, honestly, you do.
Okay.
But your worldview is completely broken. It can't even account
Okay.
for what you're trying to do right now.
Can't account for good.
Because if you're a cosmic accident, then so were they. And that means that what you're doing right now is a waste of time because
Okay.
they don't have any value. They're cosmic accidents, and so are you. Do you see, when you turn away from Christ, there's no meaning, there's no purpose, there's no right or wrong. That's the truth.
Up, ladies.
Okay.
But you do have value.
Nope.
You do have meaning.
Maybe to
You
but not
word
to
ma-
me.
you word made me the purpose. See that just goes to show. When I said over there a moment ago, you're not happy.
Oh, I'm
You're
very happy.
not well.
I'm
You
very
just
well.
admitted that you don't have any meaning.
So, okay.
Don't you miss
You
me?
think you have to have some like great grander purpose? I don't. I'm just living my life and vibing.
Living your life and vibing.
Yep.
But you're an accident.
Than the record of this
So look,
place.
so if you're a cosmic accident, my name's Jeff, by the way. What's your name?
Simon.
Simon. Simon, if you're a cosmic accident,
Oh, I got it right.
so was this.
I guess he was
Okay.
gonna say
And you and I would be no more meaningful or purposed or anything than this
See, God tells
grass.
us everything we need
Okay.
to know about this.
And that's your worldview.
Yeah.
He does.
I respect the earth.
So Simon, what are you
So,
doing?
yeah.
But why respect it? It's an accident.
He
What am
tells
I
us,
doing?
first of all,
Simon.
I said I respect the earth.
Simon,
I
no,
don't
no,
litter.
Simon, I respect the earth. Simon, I respect the earth because it was created by God and is a
book of
special
Ruth says
creation.
God
In
created
your
the
worldview, there's no reason to respect the earth or over an asteroid. It's just a cosmic accident, and so are you. Simon, you can't live that way.
Yeah, I can.
You don't live that way.
I am.
Do you love her?
is the one that
Yeah.
granted
Does she
you
have meaning and
consumption.
purpose?
Yeah.
Not according to your worldview. She's an accident, and so are you.
Just look
She's
him
just a
up.
bag of protoplasm, and
Aren't
so
we
are
all
you.
accidents according to our parents?
No,
Yeah.
according to God,
Yeah.
according to God, you have meaning and purpose. You see, you said you don't, but here you look how complicated this is, Simon. You think you're an accident, but inside there you think you're standing for women and their rights and what's good for them. But all of that doesn't make any sense because they're accidents and so are you.
Nothing makes sense
Because
didn't
God,
say
because
so.
God.
Do you see how, Simon, you don't have an answer.
Did you read the Bible, Simon?
Actually, I read it twice.
Simon, you don't have
I
an
don't remember
answer.
shit though.
It's not a good
But
book.
Simon, you don't have an
Not.
answer.
It's really not.
Whoever said it
But
was
you don't
the
have-
best story
you don't
ever
have an-
fucking
I should
lied.
not have been allowed to read that at 9. There was some shit in there I should not have been reading.
Let me tell you why it's the greatest story.
There was some
Because
rape.
God became a man to save
No, yeah,
sinners
do you
like you and
remember the story
me.
Where like these two dogs, it was
Got
like,
their dad drunk and
and
fucked
raped
him.
him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I should not have been reading that at
I'm
9.
not doing that.
Isn't that amazing how the Bible doesn't whitewash evil? And by the way, what's wrong with two daughters having sex with their father, according to your worldview?
Man, I wish I had
See,
recorded
in the
that.
Christian worldview, that's wrong. What happened with Lot and his daughters was wrong.
Like procreate.
But nothing is wrong with that in your worldview. We're accidents, Simon.
I don't know.
Simon, we're
If you
accidents.
don't believe in God, how do you believe in good versus evil? If you don't believe
Literally,
in
that's where
God,
it's going.
how do you know what's
And
wrong?
you don't have an answer, do
How
you?
do you know what's right?
And you don't have an
You
answer.
Don't believe in God.
Lot sleeping with his daughters is sinful according to the Bible, but not according to your system.
I mean, my system is Satanism, and Satanism is as long as you don't harm others.
Who cares about harming others?
There it is.
Who cares about harming others?
Satanist.
Who cares about harming others? We're accidents, Simon. You said so. You said don't have any meaning. Do you see how you can't even hold to that consistently? Simon, you're living in a world, a bundle of contradictions.
I know. It's
Yeah.
so depressing, isn't it? He's convinced I'm like depressed and like hating my
You
life.
are. You're depressed. You're miserable.
People
You're
on the lawn have
lonely.
already
You're sad.
slaughtered their
No human being outside of Christ
Because you don't have God.
can be fulfilling their purpose.
If you don't believe in God.
So shocking.
If you don't think that mistakes send you to hell,
Yeah.
and you have to be perfect.
I'm not scared of every little thing.
Humans need to be safe.
that you need to repent.
Why would humans need to be kept safe?
To him.
Why would humans need to be
God
kept
has written
safe?
His law in your heart. It's why you hate
You don't
every word that
know.
I'm
Simon,
saying. But you know, every
Simon,
word that I say is the
you
truth.
know you're broken.
No.
God
you know you
says
need
quite
Christ.
clearly, you shall not murder.
Simon, you know that your world is
Ladies, I'm
collapsed.
not shouting because I hate you.
Your world is collapsed.
Because I
Okay.
want you to be able to hear.
Think about everything we've talked about so far. You can't justify anything you're doing.
Okay.
You're living in
Ladies, you need to
contradiction.
hear
Okay.
what God
You know
says
your life is
before
broken.
you walk
No.
down this
I'm the
path
one here
of
telling you that you have value and
Before you
meaning and
walk down this
purpose.
path of darkness,
But you've adopted a position that says that you're cosmic
please,
scum,
not to see.
Yep.
that you're an
Ladies,
accident.
you're about to
Okay.
make a
That's
horrendous
Simon,
decision.
you are more valuable than that. You are made in God's image.
No.
Take
There
the
is a
baby
God who
that
loves
God has
sinners
given
so
you,
much
is
that he enters
fearfully
into
and
this world to
wonderfully
save them
made.
from their sin.
A baby
No.
with its
You've
own
adopted
eyes. A
darkness.
baby with
Okay.
its own ears.
Do you see how
A baby with
a
its own
heart is so
DNA, its own
hard
blood
It's
type.
really not.
that you're
You are
willing to
about to
just
slaughter.
admit to the fact that you're living in darkness?
Horrific
I'm really not.
crime that
Okay.
the baby committed, that it
So
deserves to
when I'm
die.
talking to you, I'm saying you are valuable, I care for you, you have purpose. But you're saying about yourself, because of your turning away from Christ, that you are not valuable, that you have no purpose, that you're living in darkness. Simon, you need to turn away from that to Christ.
No.
Do you just want to live in darkness?
Yep.
Okay. There's going to be a day of judgment, Simon, where you face God who made you with a purpose.
Okay.
And you'll see how truly meaningful you are then, and how truly meaningful your decisions were your entire life, and how truly meaningful this moment is where you're guiding women in to murder their children.
All right.
Simon, I'm passionately committed to you knowing that you are valuable. You are not an accident.
But I don't want to hear it.
You don't want to hear it, you just want to live in that meaninglessness. You want to live in that darkness.
Yep.
I love you, Simon. I want you to turn from sin to Christ, experience forgiveness and peace and life. You see, your heart's been hardened. Sin will do that, Simon. When you pursue it long enough, when you and I pursue sin long enough, Simon, We get hard.
It might be a clump of cells.
Yeah, I get hard from
Tell you
sin.
Our
something.
hearts get
Whatever it
hard.
is, it isn't human.
I get real hard from sin.
Your mind gets
All right,
hard.
There's a lot to say about that.
Simon, I care about you.
39.
Okay.
I do.
God said,
We're here because we love you and love them. I know we're on opposite sides, Simon. I know we're on opposite sides of this,
Thus saith the Lord.
but that doesn't mean I don't care about you.
Okay.
And you need to know the story
For my inward parts,
of the gospel is that God loves sinners
I will give thanks
like
to you.
me and like
Try it
you.
carefully.
We both love darkness outside of Jesus. Me too.
My soul knows it very
We
well.
both love darkness outside of Jesus.
From you.
It's not just your problem.
Skillfully wrought in the depths of the earth.
What are y'all filming?
Your eyes have seen my unformed substance.
What's that?
What are y'all filming?
In your book wrote
We filmed this for a number of reasons. For obviously our safety. We've had people like you pull guns on us before. I'm not
Oh,
saying
I'm not gonna
I'm not saying you would. I'm saying it's happened to us before.
I don't got one.
It's okay. No, I'm not. Forgive me. I didn't mean that to say I'm blaming you or I'm accusing you. I mean, we've had it happen before. We've had people attack us. So we do it for safety, but we also record it, and we do put it up on our YouTube channel.
Okay.
So we can have people see that we can have genuinely good interactions
Oh, okay.
together and talk. And I also want people to see what's going on out here.
Okay.
Simon, you said you were a Christian.
My family were Christians.
Right, you were raised in a Christian home, right? We're here in Florida?
Alabama.
Alabama, what kind of church was it?
Southern Baptist.
Southern Baptist. Okay, how old are you now?
22.
22? Okay. So it's clear, obviously, that you never really knew Christ. But can you just, I'm just trying to talk to you as a friend here right now. Can you just tell me why you've chosen the path that you're on, the path of meaninglessness, accident, destruction, darkness? We can't really make excuses for our sin, but I'm saying, like, what was the turning point for you?
Oh, Christians are the worst people I've ever met in my
But
life.
remember this, Simon, there's no such thing as a worse person.
Well, let me say cruel, because I'm gay.
There's
I'm
nothing
as gay as a
there's
kid.
nothing cruel. Simon, do you see, if you gave up Jesus, you gave up any ability to say something is cruel or bad. Like,
Okay.
you and I, look, okay, I'm a pastor.
Yeah.
And honestly, some of the worst people I've ever interacted with in my life are professing Christians. But why do I get to say that, Simon? Because I have a standard of God and His character by which to measure these terrible Christians. I'll be honest with you. There are some people who profess faith in Christ. I would much rather you and I hang out, have lunch together, hang out, just have a good time together, than hang out with them, professing Christians. But why do I get to indict them? Because I have the Word of God and God's own character to measure. When you abandon Christ, you gave up the ability to call them cruel.
Okay.
I know a lot of cruel Christians. I do. Some foul Christians. Some of the people who've hurt me worse in my life are Christians.
Yeah.
But why do I get to condemn them? Because I have a foundation by which it makes sense to condemn them. You gave it all up.
I don't need a book to tell me when people are cruel.
Well, think about it. It's not just a book, right? It's a revelation. It's a question of how did we get here? Who are we?
And also, all the Christians I knew justified their cruelty through the Bible.
Yeah, people do that. People take the Bible out of context to abuse other people. I know gay theologians that do that too. They take the Bible out of context and they abuse the text too. It's not just Christians who abuse the Bible. It's also like gay theologians that abuse the Bible, right? So
I'm no theologian.
anybody can go to the Bible and take it out of context and make it say whatever they want, right? But like, for example, like you said, you're homosexual, right? So I'm probably guilty of far more sexual sin than you are. You're 22, I'm 45. I've lived a longer life and I probably have you beat sexually, I promise you that, okay?
Good to know.
By the time I was 16, I lost count as to how many girls I slept with. I lived a life of drug addiction for a long period of time, did some foul, horrible things. I'm not standing over you in judgment. We both need forgiveness for our sexual sin, okay? But I want you to think about something. Why would you and I be able to call anything sexually wrong? How would you call anything sexually wrong? You've turned away from Jesus, so how is anything sexually wrong?
I say as long as, you're two consenting adults, you're not hurting anybody else, because that is an important part of that issue.
Okay.
And that you're chilling. If you're two consenting adults, you're not hurting anyone.
But why is that a standard, Simon? Says who? What about the guy that's a cosmic accident that doesn't agree with you? He rapes a woman or he rapes a man, right? He abuses a
Yeah, that's
man.
where you're lacking consent and it's harming someone.
But who says that matters?
Again, Satanists.
We're
those are my
accidents.
beliefs.
We're accidents, though.
Yeah.
We're cosmic Satanist accidents.
Okay, you don't need the Bible to be like, okay, some of these things hurt people, so we shouldn't do that.
You need
We just
God-
need empathy.
You need God as the creator and a creator-creation distinction. You need a
No.
world that was created with purpose and meaning and human beings that are in the image of God to make any sense of the claims you're making. Simon, if you're an accident and I'm an accident, why does it matter if I abuse somebody?
Because you're harming someone.
So?
I have empathy.
So? Do you see my answer? How easy that is to ruin? So?
I don't need a Bible to tell me not to hurt
You
people.
know there are men who rape other men,
I am
and they
aware
don't
of
and
that
they don't
fact.
care about
Yes,
the permission.
Because there are people.
And what's your complaint with them? And what's your complaint with them?
What?
If a man rapes another man, why are you
You're
complaining about
harming
it?
someone
So?
else. I don't need a book to teach
They're
me
cosmic
that
accidents.
It's bad to harm
It's
someone.
not just that it's a book. It's a revelation. It's God speaking, saying, I created you with a purpose and with meaning. You're the creature. You're in my image. You can't not love another human being. Not loving another human being is sinful. I'll give you an example, like the basis. Love does no harm to its neighbor. That's what God says. God is love. Love does no harm to its neighbor. I have a justification to condemn the man who rapes the boy. I can condemn him because I have God's word in a revelation that says he's not an accident, and we are commanded not to do harm to our neighbor. In your worldview, it's just a preference. Some people don't agree. Some guys rape little boys, and they get away with it, and they like it. They enjoy it. And your feelings about it don't really matter. It's meaningless. Remember that, Simon? It's all meaningless. We're all accidents.
Again, I don't need a book to tell me morality.
Simon, it's not just a book. And by the way, who is the Satanist you follow? You said his name?
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You said a version of Satanism, because there's numerous versions of Satanism. So what was the version you said you follow?
Satanic Temple.
Satanic
It's like
Temple?
atheist version of it.
So do you read like Anton Svander LaVey's
I've read it before, yeah.
Okay, so you said like,
I don't really follow it. I mean, I've read it, but I was kind of like, eh.
So like the do as thou wilt, that kind of stuff, do you follow that?
Yeah, I basically follow, do as you want as long as you don't harm others.
But you said you don't need a book to tell you that, but the Satanic Bible tells you that.
Yeah, but I believed that before I got to the Satanic Bible.
But when you get stuff from the Satanic Temple, do you get it in writing at any point? Do they ever write articles? Do they ever write like what we believe?
Occasionally.
Yeah, do you believe those things?
Sometimes
Yeah.
not.
So you believe you can get truth from a book or literature?
I mean, sure.
Okay. So the Bible is God, His revelation. See, I'm showing you that you actually do believe that somebody can hand you something that is true revelation, either as a Satanist or whatever. So you don't actually believe the criticism that you made to me. Like, I don't need a book to tell me. It's not just a book. It's God who walked among us. It's God who talked to us and revealed Himself to us. See what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that to make you feel bad or to make you feel small. I'm just saying, Simon, I care about you. You gotta see that this is broken, man.
All right.
You can't live like this, Simon.
I'm doing great.
And you know that you're not happy.
It's hot out here.
It is hot, isn't it?
Yeah.
You were from Alabama?
Yeah.
So you're kind of used to this.
Yeah, I've lived here for a while.
Yeah. Well, when did you move here?
3 years ago?
3 years ago? From what part of Alabama? I was just in Alabama a couple months ago.
I've been like next to Dothan, middle of nowhere.
So like up north Alabama?
No, like South Alabama.
It's South Alabama. I was in, where was I? Birmingham
Yeah.
recently. How far away are you from Birmingham?
2 hours, I think.
Okay. So why'd you come here?
School.
To, in Orlando?
Yeah.
Okay, what are you studying?
Cosmetology. I just
Cosmet-
wanted to get out of Alabama, so I was like,
I get it. I get it, especially if you're in a small town.
yeah.
I'm a city person myself. I couldn't live like
Oh,
that.
yeah, I prefer the city.
Yeah. Well, listen, I know this is an intense thing and we're on totally opposite sides here, but I do want you to know that I genuinely care about you.
Oh,
And I just want you to think about what I said to you. You don't have to even think about it in terms of a debate. Just think about what I said to you in terms of living every day like you're in God's image, because you do. You care for others. I know you do. You care for others. I'm sure you're a loving and sweet person. You care about other human beings suffering and all the rest. But you'll live every day like you are in God's image, but then at every point you'll rebel against that with what you say about God and ultimately what you do. And I want to affirm, just think about this for a second. This is a big one. I said it to you and I meant it. I truly mean this. Some of the cruelest people I've ever met in my life are professing Christians. But the only reason I get to call them cruel is because I have a standard by which to measure their cruelty. You've experienced that cruelty too, but you can't complain about it because you've turned away from Jesus. If you turn to him, there's not just forgiveness, Simon. There's also a meaningful way to complain about evil in the world, okay? Just think about it. I'm not trying to win the debate with you. Just think about it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a theologian.
It's okay. No, you don't have to be. I'm not asking you to be. Can I shake your hand?
Sure. I'm sweaty.
It's okay. It's nice to meet you, Simon.
Nice to meet you too.
See how you're acting like protecting other humans is important?
Yep.
Do you see the complication? It's like little moments like this I want you to think about, if you would, Simon, is that you're not living consistently with your worldview. It doesn't work. Because you're not just rat scum or whatever.
What John calls me?
No. Whatever your name
He calls
is.
me rat crap.
Whatever the name is on your Instagram or something, right?
It's on Instagram.
But you're not that.
Oh no, I just call myself that because he started calling me that, and I thought it was really funny because I have a big rat tattoo.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And I thought it was hilarious.
But look, you're trying to protect other people.
Yep.
Why?
I don't think people should be filmed.
Why?
Healthcare.
Simon, why?
People get so rats.
So what? They're scum.
Salvation, I help you.
They're accidents.